Welcome to Descriptives and Frequencies. As we've talked about in a few other videos you've heard, we are telling a story. Think of it this way. You've got a group of people that you're going to study. They're called participants. You're going to take all those people and you're going to find out information. Let's say how many, in this case like today, how many years have you played water polo? What's your age? What's your gender? What are you going to do in the future? Any kind of question. But descriptives and frequencies is the other side. Okay? And it's in a part of all those questions that you're asking. So age and gender. Anything that gives you the makeup of the people that you're going to be studying with the major questions. So I'll give you an example. Gender, male and female, dichotomous variable, okay, meaning two. Okay, you got community. You got how many years you played a sport, or how many years have you worked in this job? How many hours a week do you work? Any of those questions that build a kind of like a portfolio of stuff about the participant. Now, on the other hand, each one of these are done in two different ways. One is descriptive and two is frequencies. So let's talk about the descriptive first. Let's talk about the descriptive first. Descriptive deals with numbers. Okay? Anything with a physical integer number, such as, let's say, how many years have you been teaching? Well, in that one, it would be 10. It's going to be able to give you a minimum, a maximum, and a mean, and a standard deviation. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to give you those certain numbers. Okay? In most everything, you're always going to know the number of the participants, because it's always going to be shown. Okay? That's a descriptive. Okay? Remember, mean, minimum, maximum number. So let's say age, you have a minimum and maximum. Okay? It tells you how broad your range is. You can also look for outliers on this. You got one that's 15 years old, and you got one that's 92. Well, that's a very broad range. Now you may be looking for an outlier. Remember, an outlier is something that's not in it. Let's say you had numbers between 15 and 24, and you had one guy that was 94. Well, this changes where that mean is from here to here, and it's not representative of the whole group. So minimum, maximum, your mean, standard deviation, number of participants. Let's talk about frequencies. Okay, this is everything else. Okay, anything that's not a number. So let's say male and female. Okay, it's independent. You're either male or you're female. Okay, when you're making the choices, a lot of these choices are going to be like a multiple choice questions. It can be a 2, 3, or 4. Okay, so let's take something like socioeconomic, where you've got upper, middle, and lower. Okay, and each one of these is separate. You're in one separate category. So you're going to pick either this one, or this one. Okay, and what this does is doesn't give you a minimum and maximum. It gives you a frequency. So let's just use upper. We had 15 participants, and 10 of them said they were upper class. Okay, and then let's do 30. So it's 10, 10, 10, and 10, and 10. Okay, so this would equal out to a percentage, this would equal out to percentage, and this will equal out to a percentage. Okay, and we will report this area right here. Okay, up here we will be reporting in most cases all of these in the descriptives and the frequencies. So, descriptives and frequencies, excuse me, tell all about our participants. That's the bottom line. So you need to know this number here, and then of course up here you need to know minimum, maximum, mean, standard deviation. And for the frequencies, you need to know frequency, which means how many of them are in that category, and it goes by percentages. So let's get into some data. As you can see here, this is a SPSS output, and we're talking about age and playing years. Again, we're talking about age and playing years. We're talking about age and playing years. Age and playing years. Okay. We have 30 participants. Okay. We have a minimum, a maximum, a mean, standard deviation, and we're not going to worry about these two right here, right now. Okay? There were 30 participants in the study. Ages ranged from 25 to 48, with a mean of 33.43 and a standard deviation of 1.14. I left this here. We always go to the hundreds, not the thousands. The only time we go to the thousands is correlation. Okay? So we round up here. So this one is below 5, so it's 5.14. So there were 30 participants in the study. Age ranged from 25 to 48 with a mean of 33.43 standard deviation. Now let's talk about this one right here. The SD, the M, R, all these are italicized. Some of their small letters, some are large, but SD is italicized. There's a space right here and a space here. 5.14. For the demographic of years playing water polo, the athletes reported participating from 8 to 21 years. Here's the mean and the standard deviation. Everything is in this box that you need to put here. But now we're starting to tell the story and finding out about our participants. This right here is a descriptive box. Okay? So anything that had a number ended up in this box. Now here we're talking about frequencies. Oh my gosh, it's off. So in this case, this is a frequency box. Males, there was 30 participants. You can't really see it right there, but 25 males and 5 females. The males were 83.3%, and this is 16.7%. A lot of time this is going to be the same, okay? But the problem with it is this change, not really a problem, but this changes only when you have missing items. So in this case, somebody didn't report they were male or female. So you'd have 30 total, but you have a line here that said missing. It says like 2 people, and it would give you percentage. Well, these cumulative percents change themselves. Okay, in this one it says there were 25. .3% male. You do the same thing for male, and 5% female. So you're going to report this number and this number and this variable. Okay, there's the variable. There's the 25, which is here, and then here is the 5. And then the next sentence is comma and 5. 16.7% female. It's very straightforward, right to the point. This is a little better. Same thing. The question for this help is, were you a recruited athlete? We have a yes or no question, a dichotomous variable again. For the question of you were a recruited athlete, the participants reported yes, 21%. Oops, I'm missing a 9. And 70%, and no, 9, 30%. This tells you everything you need to know about this box right here. This is a much larger one, the demographic of community. You can see for the demographic of community, participants reported the communities they lived in were large city, 4, 13.3%, right here. Small city, 18, 60%. Suburb, 3%. I'm sorry, 3 and 10%. And small town, 5. We don't report this one. We've already reported that in our very first sentence of this, of the descriptives. So to recap, descriptives. All about numbers, minimum, maximum, standard deviation, and mean. Frequencies are going to give you a percentage and a frequency number. How many times it happened. Okay? And then you're going to be writing up, and of course the direct definition tells us all about our participants. And then the last part is the big part is you're going to have to write up in same way I posted in here for your write-ups.